Welcome back to Tarkadia Rising. First thing I have to bring up is a retcon. Last time I declared the Dragon King to be named Tarkir. That is the name of a Magic the Gathering set. Oops. So from now on, the Dragon Emperor King will be known as Tarkees. So, oopsie doodle.
Where are my Tarkees?
I'm just gonna erase where I wrote Tarkir and write Tarkees instead.
Retcon.
How do you want to spell that?
Tarkk.
Tarkees.
God, don't you know how to spell keys? Kees.
Tarkees.
There's literally a drawing of a key.
Tarkees.
So I got a little blurb I wrote to lead us into this one. With the discovery that dragons are not just a bedtime story to scare the children of Tarkadia, and is in fact a dark part of a history wiped from the modern world's mythos, you just unknowingly became the most important people of Davenborrow, maybe even the world. You have caught the eye of a fugitive black dragon going by the name of Razden, and learned that these lands were ruled by dragon clans, and all mortals were enslaved by their to do their bidding. This also heralds a dark sign that the chromatic dragon Emperor Tarkees is destined to rise again and crushing your world with his return. You cannot turn to the local government or the Adventurers Guild with these revelations due to the reception and recognition you have created in Black Iron Docks, which means you are on your own. Lord Bluckthar is your only hope of spreading the news of the returning Dragon Empire, but your only line of communication is the catatonic Master Archaeologist and his assistants. While supplies are running low, your only option is to turn north to the farming town of Ryland Orchard, where you can finally take a moment to process the information you fell into your party's lap. So, as kind of mentioned, you guys ran across the burial ground of an ancient dragon where he was chained up inside of his own skull, and he was kind of mad, to say the least.
A little frantic.
Yeah.
He really liked you.
Kind of quirky.
Yeah,
So I was telling everyone to leave.
Yeah, he's a little
Please
creepy.
go away. I don't want to deal with him. So, with that, you four and, well, we are obviously missing someone. We unfortunately lost our Trin due to conflict of scheduling, but they may return, they may not. We'll see how it goes. So we're rolling with the four. Canonically, we're just having her leave into the sunset with her dog. She's literally noping out. So,
That was your brother.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
sister.
was Trin? I don't.
Trin
remember
was
if
a
Trin-
girl, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, no, because we were always going brother, and he never corrected
That's
me.
true.
I don't know.
Be identified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
identified.
Who knows?
Goblins are
We always just say brother.
Yeah.
strange.
Brother is kind of just.
Yeah, but
covers
also-
the spectrum. Yeah.
I don't know how.
How?
I don't know how Muncho would how react to that. As far as just like
Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
maybe
Wait, what are we saying
Maybe-
happened to him?
there was a collapse
like-
and we lost Trin and the collapse. It's sort of like a cave collapse,
Maybe-
and then we couldn't get back for
just
fear of
see
getting killed by
A
the
goblin hand
Mm.
and a dog paw sticking out from the crushed room.
I'm not killing
We,
them
no,
all.
we, yeah, we
That's
don't want to kill them,
what if
but like
those-
if there was a collapse and we lost them and we couldn't find them, but it was too dangerous to go back.
But
What if
it-
the ancient people that were there took him?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to tell you
Did
how
they kill
to
them?
write your campaign.
They-
I'm just trying to think of something.
I could
Yeah.
asked him how he wanted to. I'm like, do you want me to do something special? It's like, just have them like wander because they're just nomadic. Goblins are just kind of like.
The dog runs away and he chases after the dog.
There we go.
Never see him again.
He
Fitz
accidentally
character.
casts, what is it, like throw a projectile,
Yeah.
and the dog goes running. He's like, and you probably are used to it, I
Oh, it
guess.
can't be bad.
But
Yeah, I'm just like,
He'll come back.
You'll find
yeah,
us.
they'll find us right back.
so yes, it's unfortunate. I should have let off with that to begin with, but yeah, it's kind of shitty, but scheduled conflicts. But yeah, so you have the twin archaeologist assistants and the Goldhawk himself, who is kind of like in this weird catatonic state. You guys don't know the area, but due for plot convenience and stuff like that, you know that the town of Ryland Orchard is close by. It's about a day's travel. You can go there, stock up on food, get some rest, and kind of collect yourselves and be like, yeah, we're finally ready to, kind of talk about what just happened because we just met a dragon, and I think we just started Armageddon.
So we can't talk to anyone about the dragon except for the archaeologist, his assistants, and who else? He says
Lord
somebody-
Bloodfar.
Bloodfart.
Bloodfire. I forget. He's
He's the one that- He's the one you broke into his house, found
That's
out he was
right.
actually a really nice guy, and
He's the one who told us to go to
Yeah.
swindle the archaeologist.
because you kind of exiled yourselves from the Adventurers Guild for taking contract and breaking it, and you also
Yeah.
pissed off one of the great lords of Black Iron Docks. So you're kind of in this.
No, wait, that was
That was
Yeah.
Bloodfire.
Who was the gentleman?
It was a rival house. I just remember that much.
Bloodheart was
That's right.
Nagrit. Bloodheart was the dwarf that you betrayed. Bluckthar was the orc that he made sound like he was like a really awful person.
Oh wait,
That's right. Bloodfart is the one that we betrayed.
Yes.
Blockthar is the one that hired us.
Gotcha.
Because he's an orc. And orc names are very creative that I make up on my own, so no one can give me a hard time about it.
Wait, I think I actually heard that in a show once.
Retcon, we have to change it.
Just like by the end of it, people are just like, his name is Blanfachum Tukapinu.
I saw a funny thing online talking about
Just pull a name out of there and then.
I saw a funny thing online to be like, how to generate random fantasy names. Go crazy on a keyboard, separate it out into a few letters, so like 5 letters at a time. Throw in vowels where it makes sense. And you got fantasy names. And it really worked.
Davenborrow, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
Damn.
I found my notes.
Do you have any spare pencils?
Yes, I do. Let me go grab that.
I forgot that too. I'm just terrible.
Well, we know, but it's okay. We love you.
I'm gonna go run off, chase a dog, disappear too.
No, you're our only healer.
But unfortunately,
Because we don't have like an actual healer.
Guys, but I like the taste
Oh,
of
that's a shame because on your adventures, you do get attacked.
on the way to the orchard.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So we're
really?
gonna start out
Already?
with combat
Oh,
to
boy.
try out our level 2
And
abilities.
this is what's the name of the orchard again?
Roland.
Ryland Orchard.
Rylick. Oh, I had to totally wrong.
Let me.
Ugh, excuse me. Thank you.
Ryland. I'm sorry.
Ryland.
Rylex, I think, are a WoW thing. RYLAND, and then.
Do you have to like look up everything? You try to come up with a
You
name
know-
to look it
That would be smart,
up?
but I just kind of make up names and roll with it.
Haha, get it? Because it's D&D.
Haha!
Oh man, so funny.
Best jokes.
That's so funny.
That's good jokes.
Funny story.
Funny story.
Is
It's an itch.
no?
Do you guys have minis? Do we need minis?
I have one.
I do not.
need one, please.
I need a nanny.
Do you guys remember what alchemical items were under?
No.
Paint supplies.
I remember stumbling over it, but I don't remember where it was.
Here's some
It's
minis.
either under equipment or spells, right?
I think it had to be under equipment.
Think so?
Did you look it up? In the glossary?
Oh, in the appendix? Or
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
minis.
there somewhere. Appendix isn't too bad. Or the glossary part of it at least.
Glossary.
Yeah.
Probably at the beginning. Because of A.
I'm just gonna step in front of here.
How rude.
359. It was under
I don't know if you
spells.
ever seen that clip of the Ukrainian newscaster talking, and then this old lady with no teeth is just like, Hansa, Hansa, yelling in
What?
front of the camera with one tooth. The guy's just like, I don't.
I have not seen that.
Me.
I have more.
Sneaky looking.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Oh, this one's got a knife. He's got nope, that's a bird.
I gotta find the little handle.
It's a
It's like he looks like he has a from behind. It's like, oh, he looks like he has a hood
Oh,
on. He's like,
yeah.
oh, nope, it's a bird.
Yeah,
face.
it's bird.
Dwarves. What am I doing?
There's a bird face.
It's like a Jedi.
Weird.
That's what it's gonna do.
Did you find it, Wayne?
Yes. Could you hold this page for me right here? Just like that? Thank you.
I was looking to get everybody some cool figurines and stuff, but all the figures I wanted to get were discontinued and it's like super expensive.
No, tragedy.
Lame.
Life is pain.
Yeah, I have this one which kind of works. She's a little halfling-y looking
There was
thing.
one that was really
No.
perfect
Here's
for me.
some dwarves and short peeps.
This thing does only rolls ones.
Really?
I have a
You're
whole
full of
thing.
shit.
Roll it a few more times.
Here he is.
And I have another
Three.
black one.
6. 6. You gotta believe in the dice, dude.
I rolled like 6 ones in a row.
Well, good thing you got him out of your system now.
I like this guy.
I just needed my
Need a
touch.
sneaky boy.
Here,
Need a sneaky boy.
touch all of these.
So bird person.
Yeah, bird person's good enough.
And here's like kind of what my old figure used to be.
Blessings upon you.
Bird person's
Not bad.
fine.
Jump, jump, jump,
Yeah.
bum, bum,
Ba,
bum.
ba, ba, ba.
Dun, 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 dun. That's 10.
What's, what?
That Final Fantasy side.
Oh,
Oh, I
yes.
think so, yes.
She's like, that's 10.
What's a 10?
That's a 10.
Are we rolling already? Oh no!
Ah!
That's a 10.
This.
Do I use my sparkly
Vanilla?
dice or do I use my not sparkly
That dude
dice?
has like his tongue insured for millions of dollars.
Jesus.
Who?
It's a weird meme. If you want to
Okay.
pull it up
Ice
while I'm
cream
drawn.
taster.
Look how sparkly it is.
It reminds me of like old girl toys, like My Little Pony
Yeah.
stuff and things like that.
The very fine sparkles.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to have goo, like slime stuff that looked like this.
Yeah, totally.
Little teeny sparkles.
I want to get a new set of dye. Buy myself something nice.
Mm-hmm.
I really like those icy ones.
Yeah, I can send you the link for them.
Did you get those from the same website that you were getting all those other dice from? Different
No, this is a
website?
new one that I found.
Just
So
send me
I-
the dice links now.
Okay, I will send all of them to you.
I'll find something I
The
like.
dice links.
Yeah, I was telling Dusty, like, before you guys got here, I found there was a girl that I follow on Instagram, and she, like, resin casts her own dice, and she sells them on Etsy and stuff like that, and they're really beautiful, but each set, they're, like, still, you know, like, acrylic, because they're resin, or so they're, like,
Resin.
or, are they resin cast? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, but, like, so, but they're, like, $60 a set, and I'm like, I understand that you're doing this by hand and stuff, and they're really beautiful, but,
I mean, yeah, for like
That's pretty
for an
pricey.
artist.
Yeah,
I mean, for an
it's
artist
hard.
though, for like depending on how much time goes into making those,
Right,
like, by all
totally.
means, by
Yeah.
all means, like
just depends on how much they're
charge
doing.
what you like, what your art is worth. for
yes,
sure.
yeah, no, like, I'm just
Does
like,
not
and people,
mean that the people you typically want or think will buy those dice will buy them and play with them. It's
right,
just
like there definitely are people, like, I see, like, she reposts when people get her dice, and they're like, wow, thank you, and she, like, reposts those, so I'm like, okay, so people are buying her dice, which is great, because they are beautiful, and I love them, but I'm just like, I can't bring myself to spend $60 on a set of dice, I just
especially
can't.
when I like interchange or banish dice, like,
Right.
for arbitrary reasons. So it's like I don't want to rely there like have one pair of dice be the centerpiece, like especially because
Yes.
like the metal dice that I had
Uh-huh.
did not do well with the recording equipment.
Right.
Also, like we're super finicky with our rolls. Like it sometimes gets stuck on like a corner, and it's just
Oh,
like,
right.
nah. Like I love these dice, but
You stack like
I,
two
nah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like I was talking with Eric's wife, Amber, and like we were talking about she had the set of smoky quartz dice. But she's like, but I think she rolled them on like a hard surface, so she like they clinked together and they chipped.
Oh.
So she's like, well, now I have like a set of chipped dice, which sucks.
Alright.
I wouldn't have probably it's something I think about is what they're actually meant of. They may be cool, but if
Yeah, they're
fragile-
brittle.
Blaine had like dinosaur bone or mammoth dice or something, and I'm like, I would not use those.
Yeah, those are like display items.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You spend $60 on a bunch of dice. I wouldn't want to use those either. Just
Right, like I must keep them safe.
look at them, and you'd only roll them in your little like
Yeah, you need like a very cushioned little box to roll them into.
throw into like a bunch of cotton.
Yeah.
So we got the board set up. Sorry for the cut there. To give you kind of a thing, you're heading up north towards this orchard in this farm town, escorting the one wagon that is left, displayed by the beautiful Pokemon card sitting in the middle. You're coming across kind of an area with a kind of like a cliff shelf, kind of like a little rise where it's rock and then grass on top. You're heading up above that, and I would like everybody to roll a perception.
I have to remember where that is.
It's right beneath your
there it is.
max. Your max HP.
This one's 6, right?
Yes.
Dot down.
The dot grounds it. I thought you were asking about the die. I was like, wow. I was like, dude, we've been playing for years.
It would have
now.
been a little bit different if I was like, is this a 20?
Is this a D6?
So
I mean, it
anybody,
took Clint a long time to get used to it.
what do we all roll here?
Oh, 9.
9?
11.
How many?
15.
15?
Also 15.
15.
11.
11. So you guys are kind of oblivious to it. You're enjoying kind of like the shade and the couple of minutes you can be in the shadow of this cliff. But you both kind of notice the sound of rustling and a couple of rocks falling off the cliffside. Yeah, almost from up top.
Heads up.
Eyes
I
up.
think something's coming, and I'll pull out my war flail.
The giant, like,
The
Oni
giant-
staff.
Yeah, or it's the thing on a chain, the big
Oh.
spiky ball on a chain.
Morning star.
There's one quick question I had.
What's that?
Yeah.
Morning
Since we
star?
haven't had time to
No,
rest,
my morning star
but
is
since
just
I
a
leveled
stick.
up,
It's
do
like
you think
a
I
stick.
had access to make my new potions?
Yes. So you guys did rest at the campsite, but you're running low on food. That's why you're leaving to...
Gotcha.
Because you don't want to stand next to this giant murder site with all the dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
Murder site.
so go ahead and roll. Let's do some initiative. And I think with initiative, you roll your, like... What was it for initiative?
There was something.
It's plus. Shoot, was it like plus?
It's not. It's normally
No.
like plus dex, right? And that's
Yeah.
why it was different. So.
Plus reflex? Is that what it
I think it's
is?
reflex.
Typically, you'll roll a perception check to determine your initiative.
Oh.
The more aware you are of surroundings, the more quickly you can respond.
Just merge it.
Well, we'll just use your perception checks then,
Alright.
since we already
Well,
rolled it.
fuck.
Dex
you
off.
don't need the book.
Oh, no.
You don't
Wait,
need the
dex
book.
off?
Plus 2.
My dex is plus 2, yes.
Roll off.
So you said
Roll off,
reflex?
roll off, roll
We're
off.
doing plus
Hmm?
dex?
You said reflex.
Oh
Just
no.
raw.
No.
Doesn't matter.
My dice
Oh,
failed.
just-
So he's using our perception rolls.
Oh, okay.
So you're 9.
Oh.
Yeah, these are
all
totally
my stuff
different
is
size.
So it just makes it like one less roll.
Why?
I mean, it can be, but it also could be a matter
That's
of
not
like
wasted.
if there is a perception check that determines whether or not you notice enemies
Right.
that directly
Versus
leads
you.
into combat. It makes sense to just use that as the initiative roll.
Cool. That makes sense to me.
How
I-
tall
yep.
is this, by the way?
10 feet.
Oh, that's not too
From
I'm
okay,
upset.
from here
Awareness.
down.
I don't know where my
Yeah.
stickies are, so I can't use the my beautiful initiative board that Ashley made me.
What about it? Why can't you use it?
I don't know how my sticky notes that I brought.
Oh.
They went missing. A sad day for the Empire.
Cat's probably stolen.
Probably those dicks.
What if? Well, I guess it doesn't matter from your side because you wouldn't be able to see it. But like, what if we had like a 1 through 20?
I was just gonna take a
however
note.
many, and put it up on top here, and then you
That's
could
what
be
I
like,
used to.
oh,
I used to fold cards and write it on both sides.
Ah,
I would see
that's
it,
easy.
and players would
Yeah.
see it.
nice.
But I was gonna hang it up like right here, and that'd be super cool.
my turn in the initiative, Dustin.
Luckily, sticky notes are
Have like a
usually
pointy
fine.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the finger on the tip. He's like, "This is me."
If you look on the chart,
Genius, my spirit animal.
They have to make ones that are like middle fingers, right? Just like,
Oh, I'm sure.
oh yeah, that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
So Eileen, you had 15,
Yes.
we rolled off though. I am.
Yeah,
first.
he's going first.
and I need to start calling you by your character names here.
Yeah.
Alex, followed by
Grizz,
Cormier.
don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're Grizz, Cormier, Mancho. Don't tell me.
I got it. I
I
got it.
thought I wrote it down. Must
Piper.
Oh, Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. I think I might have written it down on a different sheet.
sorry, Grizz, Pfeiffer.
No, I didn't.
Mancho and Horn.
Yeah, it's hard because I have like all of your
Hornier.
other names in my brain.
Hornier.
I had it written down when I was working on all the
Super
side stuff,
fucking
but then
dwarf. It's got an MYR in there.
Oh, okay.
Hormier, ready to work. Well, it's not. Yeah.
Blood.
so we're gonna start off with Grizz. You are by the wagon.
Oh wait, am I going first? I thought we rolled off.
Oh.
Dex.
We did a dex roll off.
Yeah. So
So we have the
Morgan's
same.
going first. Sorry, or I can go first, whichever.
I gotcha.
Whatever's easier.
No, Alex, go ahead, Mr. Hormier.
Cool. Instead of casting Mage Armor, I'm gonna use my new class feat, reach, to cast jump on you.
What?
Oh man, I'm already regretting how I said this one.
Uh-oh.
I forgot
Oh,
he has
wait.
jump.
If I heighten it, I think is only when it can become cast on someone else. That might be the case. Yeah, that's a bummer. You must land. Yeah, it says you, and then heightened it says the range becomes touch. So otherwise it's self. Never mind. Casting mage armor. Good luck.
Woohoo!
That was fine.
Worked out in my favor. So that's one action. You can still do two, or unless that's a
China, what do you want?
She wants
Love.
love.
This is true. Who doesn't?
Mage. Sorry, I have to look up for the number of actions on it. Because I was getting ready to do some jump bullshit, but
Thank you for bringing that dice closer to me, kid.
that was 2 actions. So I have a
You can
move
still
action.
move. Yep.
Cool. This is where the rocks are falling.
Yep.
This is the grassy hill.
Yep.
Grassy knoll. Okay. I will move to the other side of the
Cool.
wagon and chill there.
Cool, and the wagon does have a canopy on it, so you're technically concealed for that.
Cool. How's cover work in this?
Cover works. I think it's like a +2.
Okay.
Eileen, Miss Grizz.
Can I see what is up there, or
No,
is
not
it
yet.
just the rocks?
You also got to keep in mind you're all tiny folk.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, very small.
Short squad.
So small.
So small.
The shorty saviors of the world.
Or the shorty bringers of doom.
Well, I'm gonna start by raging.
Ugh.
So that's one round, and then what else am I gonna do? Is this like a steep cliff, or is this like a?
It's kind of think of it like the ground just kind of chunked up, got lifted up. There's some rock underneath. It's kind of like a little like hill almost.
Mm-hmm. So like, can I feasibly run up it?
No, it's a
I
Okay.
think the double
Steep
lines
up.
are like the grade, whereas like this is like a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'd
Okay.
probably be conceivably easier to run up here, but
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. This green thing's the road. You're on the wagon. You can go around
Oh.
this way, and you can go around that way.
Oh, it can go around. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
Oh, so it's not a continuum.
So yeah, this is the road you're going for. This is all just kind of like plains and grass. This is like the
it's like a
actual
frisbee that got stuck
Okay.
in the ground.
Then I'm gonna
Yeah.
just try to start moving around this
Right.
way, I guess.
And if since you have 3 actions, you can do
Yeah.
your
Or I used one action to rage, so I'll use the other 2 to dash. 20. Are diagonals 5? Or are we doing
I think it was
those
like
the
5
same?
then 15.
Okay.
Like it was doing that weird kind
Yeah,
of like
5, 15,
5,
20.
Yeah.
This is as far as I can go. My little short legs.
so far away.
So they're up on top of here, but we can't see them.
We have no
We
idea.
just saw some rocks like.
could be a deer. You know, it could be.
Okay, but we initiate.
Alright, yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Game website. I have to find the stat block.
What?
Wish this had a physical thing, but it does not.
55? Oh, I crit. Sorry.
Stop wasting your crits.
Damn it!
This is like fidget rolling. Ooh,
These are cool, I like these.
I need to like start making a cheat sheet.
All right.
for my spells.
It helps a lot. That's an idea.
I already have like before it was like, oh, I can remember these. Now it's like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do a thing horribly. Oh. Okay. You guys hear rustling of grass, and you kind of like quickly see like a long form, like kind of chop in the air, and everybody behind the wagon hears the sound of metal on wood, and you see a large ornate kind of like dirk or like knife sticking out of the side of the wagon, right next to the head of Goldhawk,
Oh no.
as he's still passed out. Looks like he wasn't the intended target, but he just barely escaped.
Is this still loopy?
Oh, he's still looping.
Mm-hmm.
So So that happened. Next up is Mr. Muncho.
Shoot. I'm trying to find how much it would cost. How many movement actions are. I forget what they're called. How many basic actions it would cost to climb up on top of this thing?
So it would probably be a climb check in your move action to get up on top. Yeah, because you'd use your athletics to get up into the wagon. If you're
They have like moves, like actions in combat separate from like
right.
the skill actions, and I'm just like, why? These are both like actions that I can use in combat. Why would you not have them all there?
Because they're trying to make it robust, Cameron.
Hold on. Okay. Where's climbing, athletics. Climb action. Okay.
Sorry, Alex is just going.
Word association. Alright. Move up, down, or across an incline. Unless the climb is particularly, you must attempt an athletics check. DC is determined by the GM based on the nature of the incline and any environmental circumstances. If you fall, the grab edge, blah blah blah. Success, you move up 5 feet up across or safely down the incline. If your speed is 40 or higher, blah blah blah. So I can only climb up 5 feet.
What if you
Per
started already
action?
5 feet tall?
So that's
So I'm guessing the wagon's like what, like 10 feet tall or so.
So it's got a canopy to it, but if you want to like crawl up the side of it, it's probably a little bit higher than you. So about 5 feet, I'd give it. So you could probably like cut a hole into the tarp, or
You're trying to get on
Yeah.
top of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna climb up on top of the.
Oh.
It'll probably take me 2 move actions worth, just because like I'm not right next to it, and also it's like probably taller than that. So I'll be using 2.
you could probably crawl in from the front then.
Hmm?
You could probably crawl in from where the horses are and stuff. Crawl up from the saddle thing and then jump in. Instead of
Well, yeah,
crawling.
I'm looking to get up on top of it so I can see up here, though.
But you got to keep in mind it's like a Oregon Trail wagon, where it's got the
Okay, so it's like
canopy
a
inside.
like cloth on
Yeah.
top, so it can't really support my weight, most likely.
Right. But yeah,
Okay, well, I'm gonna climb up on the first part of it.
okay.
Get up a little higher. Can I see up on top of the cliff?
You can see. Do another perception check for me. It's free.
It's a 10.
You do see some figures milling about in the tall grass, but you can't really make out what they are. But you do know that things in this area, like boars, bugbears, stuff like that, wouldn't throw an ornate dagger.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, and so that was 2 of my actions, and with my third, God, why are these pages so far apart? I'm gonna use. It takes an extra thing. All right. Well, might as well just shoot at him anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna use my hand crossbow, and I'm gonna shoot off over into the grass wherever one of them that I see is.
Okay.
That is okay.
Do you add dex to range?
I believe so.
It's 18.
It sounds like you landed the hit.
And no plus to that, so 5 damage.
Cool. You let go your, is it crossbow or hand bow?
Hand crossbow.
All right. So you pull out your crossbow. Yeah, fire it into the grass. You hear it kind of rustle, and then you hear the sound of the bolt hitting something fleshy. But you don't hear more than just kind of like a very controlled grunt, not like a, like.
That's what I.
Not like a bokoblin getting killed in Breath of the Wild.
Or what was I playing that they scream like crazy? It was Borderlands, the Lancers. When you kill them, their screams just go on forever. All right,
Shot.
Pfeiffer, you're up.
Oh no, that was a different different movie.
Moving. Okay, I'm gonna move like.
Okay.
I should probably get. I think I can throw 30 feet. Or lover.
Kill me!
Yeah, well, that's so. But my next, like, can you give me like sort of indication of where they might be?
Where I shot.
You shot at bolts. I can't see what you shot up
My
there. I
dwarven
can't
eyes
see
can't
up
follow
there.
that.
Well, it's like over a ledge. I
Um,
can't see over the ledge. I just saw the bolt go over the ledge in a sound of. And
Can I attempt to like help guide where he's going to be throwing his attacks since I can vaguely see where they're at?
yeah, so in that whole conversation you're saying, you guys have like, quick conversation like, tell me where they are, where I shot them. That's not helpful. Please give me an actual thing. How about you point?
He's like 10 feet, he's like 10 feet away from the edge.
Yeah, so you kind of like circle around. Do a perception to see if you understand the goblin way of pointing at a thing in the grass.
He's just like.
Ooh.
Yes,
So
so you
helped me.
That was lucky.
using
Splash damage.
your quick wit and your skills in determining his shenanigery, you're able to triangulate in the grass kind of roughly where they're at.
Cool. All right. Well then, I can throw 30 feet.
Mhm.
So that's plenty far, and he's pointing
They're how far?
30 feet. So I got far lower.
30 feet?
Yeah.
So it'd be 10 up.
How
Oh,
far is
sorry.
it over this way, though? Okay, I was thinking that they're like over here, but I guess
I thought they
wherever.
were
Wherever.
here.
It's
Wait, can
wherever
you like give me
fire.
like a estimate of like
Yeah.
where he was pointing? Because I don't necessarily know.
I mean, I'm not even sure where I shot.
Kind of like there.
Okay.
Okay. Well then that's easy within range. All right. I'm gonna toss a a thunderstone. What are they called? Thunderstone.
Tunda.
And it does.
It'd be cool if I like read it in action and like he threw it and I shot it so that it had
Oh.
more splash.
Yeah, like in midair. That'd be
Yeah.
so cool.
Very cool.
It's like a really good dex check, or reflex check to hit that in midair though.
Good
That'd
thunderstone.
be-
When this hits a hard surface or a creature, it explodes with a deafening bang. A thunderstone deals 1d4 sonic damage. So do I have
Gotta go
to?
fast.
Is there a radius
I'm
on
gonna
that?
throw.
Alright.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That definitely hits smart.
Yeah, it does. It's got it's 1d4 sonic damage and 1 sonic splash damage, and each creature within 10 feet of the space in which the stone exploded must succeed a DC 15 Fortitude saving throw
Damn.
or be deafened until the end of the next turn.
Whoa.
So I might allow her to sneak up on him. Maybe it's still pretty far.
Ooh.
All right. So, for those who have visual on kind of the area, Grizz, you're kind of coming around so you can actually start seeing up the hill. You see you see this. How big would you say the stone is? Like
It's like a grenade, right?
kind of like just like a normal kind of.
I'm not super great at thunderstones yet, so it's kind of like a weird turd shape.
Okay, so you kind of like you huck it up
Double
there.
tapered shit.
Everybody else sees like this little like stone land in the grass, and then after a couple of seconds, like a nice like loud boom resonates from that area, and all of the grass kind of like part outwards due to the sound and the flash, and you do see two. Can you hand me those two? What look like female humanoids in the grass, standing kind of next to each other, holding their ears. One of them has a bolt on her shoulder. She's not like deafened by the blind. Or this one's deafened. This one is not. This is the one that you also hit with the crossbow.
And the one I hit takes a d4 if I hit one.
You hit both.
Oh, I hit both?
It's sonic damage
Yeah.
in that 10-foot radius, right?
It says deal 1 sonic damage and 1 sonic splash damage, so I assume. And then the 10 feet radius is for the
Right.
fortitude
Oh,
save,
okay.
not
Okay.
the damage.
Yeah, so since they're standing right now, that splash would affect both. So did
I
you
got
roll a
4.
4? All right. Next up is the one that is deafened. Deafened?
Definitely.
You need to know anything about that.
Yeah, I think that's a different thing.
You can't hear approaching, I imagine.
Right.
Minus penalty to perception rolls.
Yeah,
Probably. They can't hear
I mean,
you.
it says deaf. I mean, it could be a negative roll to it, but it says
Right.
deafened.
Yeah.
Could be an absolute.
But they can still see.
That's true.
They can still smell. They can smell you.
Little do we know they are. tribal women who can smell you from 50 feet away. Especially that one. She smelled.
Is that a SpongeBob thing?
It smells smelly.
Deafened. You can't hear, obviously. You automatically fail or critically fail whatever words perception checks based on sound. You have a -2 conditional penalty to perception checks for initiative checks. If you perform an action that involves auditory elements, you succeed a DC 5 flat check or action is lost. So yeah, anything audio can occur. So they probably can't even hear you coming up from the side.
How long does that maintain for?
Did not say in the
Did not say.
It didn't say.
Well, while you're looking it up, I'll do my turn.
Okay.
So the one that does not have, that is deafened, she is going to actually slide down. She's going to roll a check on that, and she succeeds. She does like a cool like slide kind of like across the gravel, like that straight pit, lands. And then she's going to attempt to throw her knife at you, Mr. Muncho.
When I'm in the cart?
I thought you were on top of it.
No, I was like in it because like I couldn't get on top of the covered wagon.
So I pictured you were like, you know where the bench is?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because you still had to be able to
Somewhere
see
like
them.
that over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
attack.
does 18 break your arm class?
Oof.
It shatters it.
Probably should. Yeah, okay.
You're
Yes, it
fucking
does.
Alright.
dead.
Whoa, language.
Whoa. We have children.
Fucking
Is this live or is this just being recorded?
It's just being recorded.
Okay.
We're not live. I was kidding about the...
Watch your gosh darn fucking
What the fucking heck, y'all?
I was watching something where they were like doing half like censorship and it was really throwing me off.
What the flippin'?
freaking fuck.
Alright. Take 2 points of damage. It cuts your shoulder. And, well, I want to say kind of gets you on the side of it.
It winged me.
It winged you. I need you to roll a fortitude for me. You don't have to you don't have to whisper, I think that's a poison.
I don't want him to know that we know.
16.
Yeah, so you can feel something kind of hitting you in, but your goblin, your goblin tenacity towards eating horrible things is just like, I've had worse. Shake it off.
You've eaten worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've had worse infections.
I don't know if this is the knife or that.
Alright,
or
top of the round. Top of the round to you, laddies. It's
by the way,
time.
sorry, not to cut you off. Into the next thing.
And the next one, cool. Mr. Hormir.
Not the deafening last to be into
Hot
the
to top. Oh, right. That's up.
Okay.
I just have to go.
Just the end of your turn?
End of the next turn.
What is it after your next turn?
To the night.
After the whole next round.
Through at
So this whole
It
next
just kind of
round,
went sailing into the
she's
grass.
going to be
behind.
deafened.
like over here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to that.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I guess I can't really. You said like a bunch of rocks and shit fell.
It was like small pebbles and stuff, kind of.
Are there any rocks?
Oh, there's a couple of rocks. Yeah, I'd say there's a couple of good size, like kind of little boulders.
Cool. Telekinetic projectile.
Oh, son of a- Ouch! I keep forgetting about this.
Which is
How big can it be?
hurl a loose, unattended object in range of the
should've
target.
done that.
How heavy?
It was over here,
How
so
heavy
I-
can it be?
It doesn't say,
50 tons.
but
Nice.
it's always the same damage, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So let's see.
But say, how heavy is a 3'3" goblin?
Just like a bullet.
It's like holding a knife. Like
He's an unattended minor. Telekinesis.
Maybe in character saying, "Do that to me next time." Yeah, ability scores, like relevant ability mod is I think what we add to
Yes.
spell
I
attacks.
believe, yeah. I believe it's 8 plus your ability score plus 10. Or no,
Wait,
8 plus
would
that
be
plus
for,
your.
that would be for DC, right? But
yeah.
we're talking like just like an attack roll.
Right.
It's like for a wizard, anything spells
Yes.
is going to be in based. Oh shit!
It didn't roll at all.
It did not roll at all. That's a
Give
7.
it a little more credit.
So you pick it up. You're like shot putting it, and then you just kind of overshoot the target and kind of like like U-shapes over the figure and behind the wall.
Watch that.
Shit. That's my turn. Son of a bitch!
Who's throwing rocks?
Perusing my little
Like,
tiny
eat a
ooze.
potion. Throw
It's
something
like-
more meaningful.
That's like 1d10 hits.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the teeny things.
Alright, next up is Eileen.
Okay, I'm gonna
Sounds
try
like
to
a tiny
run.
pebble.
Wheels on top ass.
Can I come across this way? 10,
Okay,
15, 20. And then I'm gonna use my... I still will be like 5 feet away. 15, 20.
Point blank crossbow.
Just you wait.
I think, because I don't... My... What is the range on my weapon? Poop and stuff.
Oh, you don't have any projectile.
I'm gonna make sure that's.
I don't. I have my...
Balls and anus.
That's no signal. That's
Balls
just
and
cheese.
Travis can crit roll. Says that. He gets angry. He's like, balls and anus.
Where is the thing from my weapon?
It works.
Well, I don't remember. I don't think it has anything special. So, well, poop. Oh, actually, you know what I can do?
At 1 point for being dabbing.
I'm gonna bring that lunch out of time. I only have to fucking...
Oh, wait, I used 2 actions. No.
You know what it was.
You guys want
Ooh,
one
actually,
dab?
what I totally can do.
Let's me do it again.
Eileen's like looking at the
I'm like frantically looking things up. I don't know what to do.
We're gonna power down.
Yeah, we're power dabbing.
Oh, okay. Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna...
So
one
I
does.
just took the feat intimidating glare. So I'm going to use an action and to use demoralize. So I basically glare at her, and then it's a thing that. Well, then I actually.
Dash up, mean look.
I mean,
She's
yeah.
like
So
looking at
so
it.
literally, it's a intimidation check against their will DC.
It's their will to live.
Intimidation. That's a 22.
Oh yes.
Okay. So
You rolled a critical.
Did I?
Yes.
Then she is frightened 2.
If you're 10 over.
Deaf.
Frightened 2.
Frightened 2, and
Yeah.
is fleeing until the end of their next turn.
Oh,
Alright.
she's like deaf and fleeing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, so like,
No, the
yeah.
one that slid down is deaf. She's the one that got
Okay.
hit with the crossbow.
Oh yeah.
oh.
Fleeing, so
Yeah,
like
so-
running the opposite way off of the cliff.
And then
Oh.
yeah, frightened 2.
This isn't Warcraft fear where it just sends you in a direction and hope for the best.
I just had frightened up.
It's a gnome barbarian foaming at the mouth.
A giant weapon.
Frightened.
Grace child!
You take a conditional penalty equal to this value, so 2 to your checks and saving throws.
Alright.
So
Damn.
minus 2 to all of those until the end of their next
So that's
turn.
what like fear 2 means. Like,
Yes.
2.
So I'm still trying to flee away from you still though, right?
Yes, yeah, fleeing. You're trying to flee for I think 1 turn, and then at the end of each turn, the value only decreases by 1. So next turn they'll be fear 1.
Oh,
and
so
then
it does
they'll
like
be
it
fear
like
0.
every turn. So if you have
Yeah,
multiple debuffs, it's kind of like,
like decreases.
degrades.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So
Fun.
for this round they're minus 2 to everything. Next round they're minus 1 to
Okay.
everything.
Well, guess whose turn it is?
I feel my dice like moving off the table to orbit.
I feel like time is changing every time this cat walks past me.
Nope. She's noping out. I do think she'll kind of like frantically throw a rock at you. Does 10 break your armor class?
I don't believe it does.
Alright, so you just kind of see her like scramble to pick up a rock and just kind of like panic as she kind of like hucks it over her shoulder and you just kind of like. Alright. Muncho, you're up.
So I'm basically at eye level with this lady
Yes.
on the ground. So I'm just gonna jump off the wagon and like tackle her and like start trying to stab her.
Oh my god! Alright, so roll your attack. So are you gonna try to?
So is there like a
Wait.
tackle thing? Well, I mean, like, cause I'm. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I want to like just straight up jump on her and bite her, or just like
I think
and like slash.
I think a grapple would be
Yes.
the most appropriate.
Well, I would like to talk to her. I need to know if she knows of any potions.
Grapple, come on. You grappling should be in the fucking basic thing. Okay, it's not in there. Hold on, I'll look in the skills section then.
What are you,
Grapple.
what are you doing, young man?
Climb, grapple. You have at least one free hand. Your target cannot be more than 2 sizes larger than you. I'm guessing she's medium-sized.
Yes.
Okay, you attempt to grab an opponent. Grappling requires you to roll an athletics check against the opponent's fortitude DC. Your success, your opponent is grabbed until the end of your next turn, unless you move or your opponent escapes using acrobatics or breaks the grapple with athletics. Critical success, your opponent is restrained until the end of the turn, unless you move or opponent get loose. Failure, you fail to grab your opponent if you already had the opponent grabbed. If you already had the opponent grabbed or restrained by way of a grapple, those conditions on the creature end. So I'm going to attempt to grapple her and then also attack her with my sword after
So
if I successfully grapple her.
Yeah.
So 1 action to jump onto her. 1 action to attempt to grapple. This is athletics?
Yes.
Yes.
And then I roll
I only have +3 to athletics.
Do I roll athletics to dodge it?
It's a fortitude.
Fortitude? Okay.
Fortitude against my athletics check. Nope. That is a 8. Good fail? Aha! So, but that's not a
She's
critical.
deafened.
That's not a critical success though.
But it's a critical fail, so it kind of...
So is it a critical success on my end?
It's a success for you.
Okay, just a success, not a
Yeah.
critical success, because it's not 10 over.
Well, 10 over or 20. So, since I net failed, I figure you succeed because she panics because she can't hear, and the only thing she sees is you. And goblins in this universe have those weird football-shaped heads going with the razor teeth.
And so I'm not like restraining her because I'm just a goblin, so I'm grabbing her. So it's probably more like I'm on her shoulder grabbing her.
Rodeo.
Just like hanging out.
Like rodeo style. Like I probably maybe have like one of her hands, but like I'm not fully restraining her, but like I'm on her and I'm going to attack her with my sword as well.
All right. So I just see this like hooded lady just, can't hear.
No 20, and I mean 25 if we're being
Oh my
technical.
god! All right, that is a critical success.
I don't remember what that means in this version.
I think it's roll plus, or you roll 2 dice added up plus your bonus, right?
I hate how it's like, alright, well, she's entangled. And I was like, oh, if you're entangled, you're hampered. See the condition.
Yeah, you have to like flip to the other thing. Yeah, everything is all over the place.
Okay, critical strike, critical hit.
Oh, Gina.
You have the most vocal female cats.
I don't abuse them, I swear.
Scream all the time.
Yeah, it's like concerning meows. Like, Missy's just like,
Toph just screams. That's just how she's been since baby.
Yeah.
Jaina's just more.
78.
it's like,
She's not mad at me.
Critical hit
She's being
damage
cute.
when you double the damage on a critical success with a strike, or with any other action or activity that multiplies damage. Wait, that's critical hit damage. And then what was the other page? 178.
Page to this page to this page.
To this page, to this page.
No. It's a whole web of information.
It's the kitty critical hit hour. Meow.
Critical hit.
Ooh.
Do I have to bring out the pun gun again?
Ooh.
Do I have to bring out the pun gun again?
Take me into the
make
pungeon.
a pun?
I get put into the pungeon. Okay, critical hits. When you make an attack roll with a natural 20 or number, or there's always blah blah blah. If you critically succeed on a strike, your attack deals double damage. This damage doubling applies only to strikes. Blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, I'll go back to the other page. Was it 308? Yeah, 308.
Oh my fucking god.
Now, if you look at subsection
Roll double
C,
the usual number of damage dice for your weapon or unarmed attack. Add double your ability modifier to damage. Add double any circumstance or conditional bonuses. Don't double extra damage that occurs only on a critical hit. Okay, so that is 2d6 plus 8 because that's my strength modifier.
So,
Critical hit.
Critical hit. So that's
Or critical damage.
10, 18 damage.
Jesus. Dude. Fucking
Feels
explodes.
dangerous.
That's gonna be 18 damage.
Put the safety on.
Yeah. I mean that too.
That's the safety. Oh, there's the actual safety.
So one of those safeties is actually fake. Yeah, that's the actual safety. And there's a fake one on the other
Oh, I
side.
look at the fake one.
Oh, these are rival saves. Cool.
Anyway,
18 damage.
damn.
Like jumped on her and like bit her face or something.
Yeah, like bit her neck. Just in the jugular.
So that's just enough to kill her.
Like straight up kill her?
Oh
Like
wow.
rips out
Nice.
the rope.
Yes.
So you are like literally like, what is it, Stitch when he's like riding in the movie, he's like,
But a lot more stabbing involved.
yeah, blood shooting everywhere. She can't hear anything. She's just in pain, and then she kind of like crumples down, and you just.
I witnessed this and
I do continue to stab a bit after she's already on the ground.
Jesus.
Well, we'll just get rid of this on the list.
I wanted to-
Fight for you're up.
Oh, okay, well, I wanted to ask her questions, but that's not happening.
There's another one.
Where is she? Where's she at?
She's ran off. She
Yeah.
ran off.
You hear her screaming up top after like.
Yeah. And you hear me screaming, and you see like my war flail occasionally like.
Above the grass.
Okay.
I'm, like,
Hey, you just see,
swinging
you see the
frantically.
flail going above the grass. But you don't see Grizz.
It's just a trail where.
Flecks of slobber from her rage.
It's like when a dog is jumping through like a cornfield. All you can see is like
When you shovel.
All right. Do you think I could see her from here?
It's. You know what? Yes, you can kind of start
Just like
getting.
kind of peek over the edge
Yeah.
a little bit.
If you jump.
It's only like 5 feet. Okay, I am going to throw a Tanglefoot bag at her. Here.
A what?
Tanglefoot bag.
Oh, I thought you said tingle feet, and I was like, what does tingle feet mean?
Just put your feet to sleep.
It's like elf shoes with little bells in them.
Does anybody know if you have any modifier to throw? Like
That'll be
strength?
your relevant ability.
It'd be
modifier.
dexterity.
So dex for you probably.
My relevant. It would be dex. I don't know. What makes it relevant?
Uh-huh.
You said my relevant. Like.
Yeah, so like I'm a wizard,
it
so all
based
my
on your
shit
class?
is int based. So when I cast a spell that is a ranged attack, I add my intelligence mod to it.
Okay. Hold on.
I believe. I think we figured that out last time.
Yeah, we actually, when we leveled up, we researched how to play
Key
this game.
ability. Says
Believe
my
it or
key
not.
ability is intelligence.
Shows.
Yeah, so you use your intelligence, which is +3.
Okay. 10.
10 to hit. No, it does not. Even with the modifiers, it does not hit.
Sad day. Well, if I only moved once. So can I attack twice, right?
Yes, but you get a -2 penalty.
Yeah, minus something. Shoot, I don't remember.
We'll say -2 for now.
Attempt another one.
Oh.
So then that would be -2, but still +3 would be 18.
That one does hit.
Okay. She is entangled, which means she is hampered, which I don't know exactly what that means.
She's.
Hampered, your speed is reduced. It's always followed by a number indicating how many feet the condition reduces your speed. It can't reduce your speed below 5 feet.
Wait, what?
So is it like a value? Is it like hampered 1?
I'll look. Well, it says she's entangled, and then what was it? 320, I think it was.
Okay, entangled is your hampered 10. Okay, so
You're hampered 10. Okay.
Yeah, so their speed goes down 10 feet.
Okay.
And if you attempt to manipulate action, activity, free action, or reaction when entangled, you must succeed a DC 5 flat check, or it is lost. Attempt to check after using it, but before any effects are applied.
So she would have to spend an action to literally roll over 5 to get out of it.
I think so, yes.
Alright. Well,
A DC 5 flat check.
I don't know what
Is
flat
that is that?
It would just be it's just
No,
5
not
period.
straight up.
Oh, I see. I've just read it in a weird inflection.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you roll a d20.
Anything else for your turn?
That's all I can do.
Cool. So she's gonna try to get out of it. She does spend the action to untangle. And then she's gonna use her knife to get out of that. And then she sees you, and so she's just like panicking, like, oh god.
And she's no longer deafened.
As she's dying, she can hear the blood splurting from her neck in a horrifying final moment.
I was waiting for someone
Why
to
did you
deserve it.
do that? Cat's got it.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. It's a rival.
All
All right.
Wait, did she get her action? Because I haven't had my action yet.
Oh,
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
I thought she went last.
No, yeah, I think she's last.
yeah, she's last. Because he went. He
Second
killed.
last.
Mm-hmm.
Then that because you feared her, but she.
Right, but then she ran away from me, and I
Uh,
haven't had an.
That's right. The
since.
dead one. The dead one.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So now.
Oh, I didn't know that she ran away in an action. I thought
Yeah.
that was just a part of the.
That's right, because she threw the stone. The dead one is the one I was thinking about. Outro.
Cool. Can I see over here or up here?
Yeah, she's kind. You can kind of see her because she's kind of coming around the corner
What she
on the hill. Coming around the mountain, and she comes. I don't know if that's
Oh,
Cox
20. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we're all slow. Well, maybe not all of us, but.
Well, I can't do anything.
You can move closer.
I mean, I could
Nice.
double.
You're definitely not
I
useful
can
there.
dash, right?
Oh no!
Oh.
She's pulling the cords a little bit.
Danger, danger.
Danger.
Yeah,
Danger,
I guess
no.
it's my turn. I used both to dash.
Eileen.
Okay. I'm gonna. 20, and then I will.
Can you like hold, do something, tie her up or something?
I can hit her.
You can grapple her as well.
I want to know who or what.
Give me one good reason why I shouldn't just end your weird.
But I'm raging, so I'm gonna. I'll use my
She
second
is
action,
raging.
and I have sudden charge. So if I move
Chop off her foot.
and I end within 5 feet, then I can attack within that same action.
Cool.
So I will do that. I will swing my glaive at her. Where is my attack stuff? Where did I put? That is a
I just left my neck
22 to hit.
How many?
22 to hit.
That hits.
And
Just
then that is
barely.
1d10.
It's not a critical.
Mm, 14 damage to her.
How would you like to end her?
Okay.
Oops.
I'm glad-
Can I scream, not my turn, to say, don't do it!
You can, but will the rage let her understand?
Will the rage let her show mercy?
Yeah.
You know what? Roll a 50-50 on mercy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, can I do non-lethal damage? Is that a thing in this?
It's
tournament?
blunted, right?
What? I don't know.
I think you can. Yeah, I don't remember how, but you can.
Certain weapons can't. Like I think certain
Oh.
weapons, like
Oh,
slashing
okay.
non-lethally, is kind of.
Or like I have a sap, and that's non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
But
I see.
I think a
I think the weapon has to
I-
have like the
okay, let me see what
ability
my-
to be non-lethal.
Right,
Let me see
and
what
I
I
figure
can
most
real
blunt
fast.
weapons could be non-lethal because if you back, like, if you smash them with the right thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm gonna non-lethally cut off your arms.
But I can non-lethally smash your legs into little tiny dust particles.
It's like Austin Powers when he falls down the. It's like I fell down. It's just every time trying to do non-lethal. Oh, both my arms and legs are broken. Death is imminent.
I mean, so it has trip.
We'll say you tripped.
So you can
Sorry,
use this
I
weapon to trip with the athletic skill.
She'd probably also trip if her foot got cut off.
Yeah, that's true.
She wouldn't be going anywhere.
She hit her so hard the leg just kind of like.
Can I just disable her entire leg, or both of them?
You know what? We
Um,
Smack her knee, make it go the wrong way.
We'll say
Keep
that.
moving.
Well, for now,
Okay.
we'll just say that for convenience that you just kind of broke her leg in this
Yeah.
like tangle wire, and
Ugh.
she's just down, and she's like, "Oh god, I'm gonna die by a pack of goblins. Oh, my first time being an adventurer, and I'm gonna die
Don't
to
you
goblins.
dare call me a goblin!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is it safe to assume that combat's over?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rush over as well. Scramble up, rush over.
I'm gonna like finger my Tanglefoot bag juice and just to like test it out and play with it. And
Finger
study
my
it.
Tinglefoot juice.
There's a lot going on in that song.
All right.
She's like cowering. She's got like blood coming off her. She's bleeding from the shoulder wound, and
And then I walk up covered in blood from her friend.
yeah. So you're like the four of you are looking down on her, like if she's just like kind of cowering.
Well, not by much. We're pretty sure.
It's true.
Roll a perception for me, please.
Did you say adventurer? God damn it.
9.
8.
Perception, you said?
Yeah.
15.
15 or higher notices that underneath her cloak, she is wearing the insignia of the Adventurers Guild with an unknown, with a name you don't recognize. Underneath,
She
her colors seem to just be normal road clothes, common to travelers and stuff like that, where they're kind of the uncolored, kind of like the unaffiliated. But yeah, she is wearing a authentic Adventurers Guild insignia badge.
Thank God we didn't kill anybody.
I start wiping blood off of my sword.
Oh God, we thought you were attacking the wagon and those poor people inside. One of them was knocked out. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, please don't kill me, goblins.
Do we still have an adventuring logo on us? Or like, do any of us still have? I'm guessing one of us
You
still
still
has
have it, yeah.
Okay.
Just because we're short doesn't mean we're all goblins. This is one of the good ones.
Look at my face! Do I look like a goblin to you?
She like covers again, like.
Look at my blood-soaked face.
With your blood.
I'm like yanking on her like broken leg out of like the
Oh
tangle.
God! Oh no!
Yep, this is a pretty good batch.
What'd you do to Charlene? What'd you do to Charlene?
Listen, adventuring's a dangerous business. You got some inherent risks that come with being an adventurer. I'm sorry I had to kill her.
Oh no, she tripped down the cliff.
And then I killed her, and then we just had she winged me. I almost got poisoned. Listen, we were defending ourselves. We didn't know what was happening.
You gotta make a
I
medicine
tried
check
to
on her.
warn you with the bomb. That poop-shaped
crit.
thick thunderstone.
Nice.
What's that?
That's
22.
what?
I tried to warn you with my poop-shaped thunderstone.
22.
After I
Yeah,
shot
you're
her.
able. It's a clean break.
No, on this one.
The dead one.
Oh, dude, she's dead.
Okay.
Dude, she's got like 15 to 16 stab wounds from like just the
Almost
rampage.
16 times?
Like, yeah.
It's-
It was
At
only
least
on one
30.
turn. It was only on one turn.
Only one of the 9 gods can bring her back.
Okay.
Those are rookie numbers.
If you want to use I was gonna say medicine on her, she might live. Medicine on her, oh, she looks like a cheese grater, boy.
Oh no.
Oops.
14.
Well,
you,
this is this is bad.
I've
Hey, listen, we're sorry. It was an honest mistake.
you started it?
I mean, I guess I did kind of shoot first.
No.
That's
no,
on me.
They threw a knife
What?
first.
They
This
did.
is true. They did throw a
They
knife
did throw a
first.
knife first.
I'm sorry. We're good
Well, listen, we'll forgive and forget. We'll forgive you for throwing the knife at us and starting picking a fight. You'll forgive us for killing your friend. It's all water under the bridge. It's all good.
Charlie.
Oh, okay.
I walk back. Oh yeah, she's fucking gone.
Do you want her body? We could burn it. Do you want the ashes instead?
Listen, I will
Let's
give
wait.
you this. I'll let you tend to the body before I loot it. How about that?
Keybon walks up. He's like, "Is everything alright? Is the situation? Oh my God, what happened to that girl down there?" And then here, Lima going like, "There's like so many holes in her. Oh my God!"
Well, this isn't helping our case. But,
That's right.
And they walk up and like, all right, we're gonna set her leg and we're gonna get her some crutches. We're gonna do some makeshift crutches. I say we just leave her.
Wow.
The one.
I mean,
Wait,
which one?
Ma'am, what's your name?
How'd you get here?
My name is Kaylin, and my sister Charlene.
Oh.
Oh.
We're recruits. We're doing a reconnaissance mission about some disturbances nearby with goblins, and we saw you coming through. We didn't know you were also adventurers. We were brothers in the killers.
I
Okay,
mean,
stop crying.
To be fair, I think this is probably a lesson that you need to learn. That, like, just because there's some short people on a wagon does not mean that there's
Look at
an
my
attack
head.
happening.
Look at my head. This is what a goblin looks like.
She's terrified.
Look at his
you.
skin. Look at his
Look
skin
at my
color.
skin.
Look at this.
Look at my face.
This is what a goblin is. This is not what a goblin
I
is.
am the fear that strikes heart and that.
What?
I am the goblin that strikes heart, fear in the heart of man.
You're not helping me. You're not.
Be afraid of me, not them.
I mean, to be fair, you should probably also be afraid of me, but that's all fine too.
I'm afraid. I'm terrified. You broke my leg.
Okay, well.
My leg.
My leg.
Well, we're going to the orchard. Do you know which way that is?
She kind of like waves down the road that you're heading. You guys have been going in the right direction.
Oh, okay. Do you want us to
Where'd
drop you
you-
off at the orchard?
Yeah, where are you
Yeah, we
coming
could give you a
from?
lift.
We'll bring your sister's buddy.
Whoa. We don't have that much things.
I mean,
Again,
we can throw her over a
yeah.
horse.
I can make flame. We could just
Keep on like we can take it. We can
we
take
can
it.
burn the body right
We got,
now.
we got.
They kind of like take Archaeologist Greyhawk, put him like in the front seat with like a blanket, and he's just kind of like scared. They pull the knife out, and they're like, "It's okay." Take the body, they wrap it up in the kind of like canvas of the tarp. They roll it up, put in the back, and then they put Kaylin next to it. And they're like, "We're really good about covering up murders." Just saying.
Good to know.
And Lima's just like, yeah, don't worry about it. We're used to this. You weren't there in the Black Iron Docks when there was an altercation in a establishment of lovely ladies in Lord Greyhawk. Trust me, didn't end well. There was
Can we
Very
can we
deep.
specify though that this was not a murder? Don't.
Right.
It was
self-defense.
it was totally
Self-defense.
self-defense.
It was 100%
It was
self-defense.
self-defense. It was self-defense. Like
Yes,
totally.
okay,
Like
so don't.
no,
We're
like-
saying murder.
I'm just saying, like a person has died in a gruesome way. Like
Right. I mean, the
Honorable.
manner,
She died
The manner of
honorably.
death does not make it a murder.
Yes. Honorable, valiant.
Yeah, it makes it more of like a. You know, what, I'm not even gonna say. Never mind. Not
Yeah.
even gonna say.
it wasn't a murder. We also didn't check the body for anything.
Well, I told the sister I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't. And he holds up like a small little pouch. He's like,
Mama!
and he just kind of goes in for the fist bump.
Oh, lordy.
So, with that,
Ruthless.
Hey, I said I wouldn't.
so yeah, you guys head on your way. You travel the rest of the day, and you guys. You enjoy the peaceful ride. You guys go by like a nice little like. You guys start passing by the orchards themselves. Beautiful trees of crisp like branches with apples. You got some pears, and you're just kind of heading up to this town. And after about like half an hour travel up to the town, you see about 6 buildings, and then a 7th kind of build. It's kind of like
So it's not just an orchard.
no.
Okay, so Ryland's Orchard is like the name of a small town.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's orchards and farmhouses and stuff like that. But heading into the actual center of commerce, there is the mayor's office in the center. You can usually tell because it's like kind of like facing you guys as you're heading down the main street, and then you have like a couple of like textile buildings, like kind of like where people gather, kind of like a communal building. You have the inn, and then you have kind of like the stable. So you're kind of heading down, and it's just kind of like they didn't even bother to kind of like spread it up. They knew exactly what this town was going to be. People pull up, they do their business, and then they head on out again. So, do me a perception check, please.
Give me a solid. Give me a perception.
Oof.
Crit to crit.
That part, I don't know.
You are fascinated by the fact that they have pears, and you're the only thing you're thinking of now is like, I gotta get me a pair.
I'm also like still preoccupied with the blood on my clothes that I'm still
so it makes
somewhat half-heartedly attempting to get off.
You got
it's
the
not a bother. It's
you got the
more like,
munchies right now. Like,
I got the
just
munchies.
17.
17, 14.
6.
You're just enjoying the sight. You're really just kind of like, it's been a while since like I've been able to just relax after a murder. You're kind of
not
like,
a murder.
After an altercation where
After
minus
a life or
one
death
occupancy in this world has occurred, you're kind of like, you're really calm and you're just kind of like enjoying the wagon. You have like the urge like to just kind of like indulge a bit. Like if you're smoky, you want to pull out a pipe or kind of that kind of like, it's a good day. Like
Blaze it.
I'm staring
Light
at
up.
my potions.
yeah, you kind of
like
relax.
tasted like
You two kind of catch on the
You've
fact.
concocted a
poisoning?
special brew.
You've noticed that it's in the summer. You're getting close to the end of the day. No one's tending the fields. No one has.
How dare
You've
they?
not passed anybody to and from town. You would think that you would see at least some sort of traders. You hear some kind of commotion. There's no livestock. It's quiet. You just have the sound of rustling trees, the sweet smell of fruit in the air. But there's this unsettling quiet that is kind of getting more and more apparent as you're heading into town.
It's quiet.
Too quiet.
peaceful.
Wait, what do you mean?
There's no one out there.
Yeah, it's
Probably
like
like a s-
harvest season.
it's like
Why
a
isn't anyone
Sunday.
picking up fruit?
No, it's not. It's the third day of the week. Like, it's midweek.
Oh.
Why would we...
Something shady.
Feels like a Sunday problem. Yeah.
There might be mass going on today, or I don't know. It could be a religious town. Like,
Could I see if there's any...
They got super proper.
could I do a lore underworld check to see if I remember if there's any kind of like smuggling rings or any kind of like shady business that goes through this town?
go ahead.
Would that be what that was for?
Sure. We'll
Like nothing about like the history of the town itself, but just remember like, is there any shady shit that goes down here that like I would know about from a thief? From like
you're
a
looking
crook
for kind of
standpoint?
like what is it? Like
Where's the
thieves'
black
cant
market? Yeah,
and
or like
that
where?
kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I'll make you the better person.
Actually, I forget. Is there a different lore for like thievery specifically, or like criminal? I think there's like a. Oh wait, what is lore underworld specifically? Is that like criminal underworld, or?
For this count, I'll let you do it. Like kind of like what would kind of like if a thief would be heading from town to town, like how would we case the town? Do you know if this is like a good place for a fence and that kind of thing? I'll say go ahead and roll for that.
I'm just gonna double check lore to see like what kind of different lore. Well, I'll check that later. Oh no! Don't exit. No. Okay, yeah, I'll do a roll on 14.
So you're heading into town and you're looking for the usual signs of, the underworld traffic, kind of like common markers, like things on the road that would just be normal to a person that's not paying attention, but to like thieves and mercenaries and stuff like that. Things like fence posts with certain kind of like crosses, like kind of how they're built. Certain posts would mean like this town's good for kind of like hiding out, or eyes are always watching, or military passes through here, that kind of thing. You're noticing that you're not coming across those signs. It's relatively peaceful. None of that stuff is kind of like popping out to you when you're heading towards the city, and when you actually get into town. You don't notice any sort of markings on any signage. Everything's relatively, you got your innkeeper sign, but it doesn't have any markings saying like, bad business or anything like that. So it's you kind of you're getting no signals.
It seems like there's untouched by the criminal underworld for the most part.
It also seems to be untouched by population.
So no one.
Yeah. So the buildings are there, everything's well kept. But
it looked like there was like a rush to get out of the town.
it looks more or less like the town just I don't want to say like vanish per se, but like it's almost as if everybody in the town decided that, you know what, today's the day, we're just gonna all walk into the field and never return. We're just what we were doing, we're just going to stop, we're not gonna drop anything, we're just carrying on, and we're just gonna move on to something else. But the thing is, lamps are lit. You can smell smoke of the fire in the inn. You smell some fresh bread. But the sounds of like textiles, like one of the buildings is used for like sewing and kind of like leatherworking, kind of like a communal like workshop. That seems to have gone cold. There's no blacksmith, but there is a little bit of activity in the town.
There is a little bit of activity?
There is a little bit of activity in the town. Like there is like some smoke and stuff coming from the inn. But other than that, it just kind of seems like you walk, like kind of when you were walking through town really late at night and everybody's asleep and there's not really much activity going on, but it's the middle of the day, kind of like close to sunset.
And just like check out one of the...
Yeah, let's look at the
but
inn.
Yeah.
There's smells coming from the inn, so maybe that's where the whole town is?
Alright. We're gonna tend to the horses, and we're gonna kind of like set up in the stables, and we're gonna kind of set up a base of operations there, and we're gonna take the sisters to a place to kind of let them. Yeah. So keep on Limo and Goldhawk are kind of heading towards the stables. And if we want to kind of talk about how the town's laid out, I'm not going to draw it up, but we'll kind of use dice to So we're going to use this as that's the mayor's hall. Then you would have like the inn, stables, kind of the communal workshop. This would be kind of like the textile place, and then kind of like extra building and stuff like it. So you guys kind of come in from the center.
Okay, so it's like a big like U shape.
Yeah, kind of like a big U shape, and this is like would be like some, I would say, like a meeting place and like a pop up like extra building that's kind of abandoned at the moment. And then yeah, mayor's office, and then the inn that's right there.
What's in
the D10 that would be the stables.
Okay.
Across from the inn.
Are there animals in the stables?
No animals.
Any signs of lots of like going of horses on the road?
There seems to be some used hay.
And like a bunch of hoof tracks.
Yeah,
Fresh
so
hoof tracks?
the hay seems to start to be going bad. It's like there were animals here, but no one cleaned up after the cycle of horses leaving, coming and goings.
Okay. I can't use my dice.
You can take your dice back. That was just kind of like a quick.
It's like we just know we're like over here pretty much. We're
Yeah.
heading this
I'm
direction.
not using those.
Towards the inn.
Yeah, that's.
Might as well start there.
It seems like there's maybe the most stuff going on there.
Sorry, so one more time. There's the inn, mayor's place.
Stables.
The
like
community
textiles,
center.
Community
Yeah.
center, all that.
But this general layout is like
Yeah.
how we're thinking about it.
Okay.
And I'll actually make kind of like a little town map to kind of
Cool.
represent it.
So walk into the tavern, the inn.
All right. Who's going in first?
Fuck it, I'll go.
All right. The brightly lit common room has the aroma of fresh baked bread, good ale, and the warm hearth filled with dry lumber. The smell is offset by the sign of a well-tended to common room with no patrons, serving staff, or food. Roll a perception check for me, please.
16.
Between blinks, your eyes focus on a new figure at the oak bar. A well-dressed wood elf is facing away from you, slowly sipping from a wooden stein. His posture is one of contemplation. His free hand is dancing along the bar, almost to a song that your ears cannot hear. You see what looks to be like a wood elf. His hair is bright black with a well-matched black suit, crisp, clean, but it's in a style of like out of fashion almost. It's nice. It looks really well done. It's kind of, think of like an old Civil War kind of like petticoat, but it kind of like V-necks a bit. So he kind of shows off like his chest. It should have an undershirt. His pecs. Because all elves are super hot. He's got like the beautiful like kind of posture to him. The petticoat kind of goes down into kind of like a flourish. He's got some nice black pants with some black like outlining. It's black on gold. Do a knowledge around kind of nobility and kind of like the color system again.
All of us, or just him?
Anybody who wants to roll, because you all are kind of trickling into
And that's
this
like
room.
a lore check?
Yeah.
Let's put just straight lore.
Not that gay lore.
14.
I know nothing.
Nothing.
21.
21. So you two kind of are putting the like kind of like, all right, what towns have I been? What colors? Black is always been to you. You know for a fact that like if you're wearing black, that is never a good sign. Everybody wants to use the vibrant colors. Black is kind of like a not really an evil color, but more or less tradition and stuff. Are like no one wants to take on the stark black color because that means unity. Every color is put together. It you know kind of symbol. It's like no one wants to do that. And gold is also kind of a status of military. So you're kind of putting two and two together. Like that is an odd combination.
Oh, black and gold, you said?
Black and gold. Black with gold trim.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
But yeah, so he's kind of sitting at the bar. He's kind of sipping, and his hands are like dancing on the table. Where he's kind of like.
Hail and well met.
Turns around and you see a familiar face.
Oh God.
Hormir!
Shit.
I'm back!
No! Come back, please. No. I'm so lonely. Come back.
You go for
Wait,
the
you
door.
guys already inside? Or?
No, I mean, I think we're all kind of like.
Yeah, we've
It's
been.
good.
Like as you're coming in, and then you're just like, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of-
Can we all do like a get the fuck out of there check?
Get the fuck out of there, check.
Yeah, you can kind of like scurry away.
What is that?
Oh, yeah, that's
Is that
getting the
just
fuck
a
out of
straight
there.
roll?
Look for the get the fuck out of there section.
Yeah, that's the
It's a GTFO.
Yeah.
Pretty good. No, not bad.
I got 10, assuming it's plus dex.
Yep, you all are able to just kind of like pile out of this like door.
Actually, I lied. I got a 9.
I got a 7.
You trip, but you all manage to kind of like get out, and you're just kind of like, oh, friends.
Look outside the door, just like, what the fuck?
How did he get here? How did he beat us here?
Wasn't he still chained up?
I thought he was still chained up.
He was gonna
We
get
didn't
out.
let him go,
Chained up.
right?
Did he? What did he
He
say?
was gonna get out no matter what.
We're so long ago. People died. I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay, let's go check some of the buildings real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no.
We're gonna run over to the mayor's office real quick. Or at least I'm gonna run over to the mayor's office.
Yeah.
You can join me, I guess.
I peek into the community center. Right?
I'm gonna peek into the window of the mayor's office, or like see if there's anybody in the building at all. 7.
Windows are all shuttered. The door is locked. The only entrance in seems to be double bolted with a padlock, and then the main kind of like normal like lock and key kind of like door thing. So double secure. All lights are out. It is a 2-story building, so everything looks to be kind of like shut down. Which again seems a lot. Even the 2nd-story building, everything's kind of closed for today. Who went to the community center?
I peek in the community center.
So you peek at the community center, and kind of like when you go to like a church function that's wrapped up, there's a lot of chairs kind of stacked in one corner. The room has kind of like an open floor area and then kind of like a raised stage. Kind of like some pictures and of some landscapes, some information about the town, kind of stuff people are hanging up. It looks like they recently just had a bake sale, so there's kind of like some signage and stuff for like the community bake sale, and it just looks like no one has come in to actually use the building in probably a couple of weeks by dusk. Looks like no one's.
How long have we been on the road?
You've from the time it took you from Lukthar's house to the dig site, that was about a week's travel, and it took you about a day and a half from the dig site to town was like a day and a half. So
Okay.
the dig site was relatively close by.
I go back to the tavern or whatever and kind of peek up and down, like, where's their bat? What'd you do with them?
So you peek inside.
Yeah, I do the same because I'm just
Like,
like, I already checked the mayor's office, and I'm just like.
So you guys peek inside, and you notice his stein is still there. The smell is still very nice. Huh?
But now it's floating.
He's gone from his seat. So you guys kind of peek in, and after a couple of seconds, from the side of the door, he's almost like upside down. He's kind of doing a...
Or he pops his head up above us. I'm just like, what you guys looking at?
Like, he's still inside, but he's kind of like face to face with you. Come on, please just have a quick chat with me.
And I swipe and punch and start running away again.
I'll kick open the door and then just walk in.
Get you right in the shin. Please, God, mortality hurts.
Stop acting like you can feel pain.
Okay, fine. He sits back down and he does this and he starts drinking. He's like, what brings you to this
What did you do with everyone here?
Yes. God, I make friends. They just don't want to let me finish.
Depending on your answer.
Why didn't you make friends with these people?
I tried to, but no one was here when I got here. That's why I thought...
Is it like an insight?
Is there an insight in this
Is
game?
there something along those lines that I can see how full of shit he is?
Yeah. You're trying to see how sincere he is.
Suss out.
Yeah.
What would that be?
What would that be?
Maybe deception?
Or diplomacy?
Diplomacy, deception...
I feel like...
Society?
Occultism? No. I would say deception to kind of see...
If he's being deceived.
Yeah. To kind of catch on to how...
Oh, that's a natural one.
You're very charmed by him, and you kind of you're just like, oh...
The poor boy.
Oh, the
poor
poor boy.
hot boy.
We heard our poor dragon boy.
21.
You can definitely tell from the way he's emoting. He's very... Because he's a very eccentric dude. Like, he's not putting on an act. He's very kind of off the cuff, just trying to talk to you kind of thing. Please, I have a table. I made some bread. It's been a while, but I made bread.
Oh, is that what that smell is? It smells lovely.
Where's the booze?
I like you.
Where's the booze? If I'm going to listen to your story, I need some booze.
Well, we have free reign. You can just go get premium. No one's here.
We're gonna need it. We'll just go over and
Please have a seat. Have a seat.
Nice!
No, as he asks, I'm already coming back with 2, 1 for the other dwarf.
I scrambled over the bar.
Yeah.
So he's kind of set up as we are now. He's kind of sitting at the head of the table, and in front of him, he's kind of put down a nice very nice little bag in front of him. He's got his ale, and he's kind of has a stack of fresh a nice loaf of bread. Smells really good. Hints of honey, got some oats in it. It's got it's a good quality bread. And he kind of sits in front of you, kind of slides it down. It's like, we need to talk.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I was still kind of groggy from waking up from my nap, and in the shock of, I didn't think I'd be out that long. I would say I was supposed to be imprisoned for eternity, yes, but I was supposed to be conscious, but something must have happened where I was knocked out.
Who did that to you?
I don't know. So the last thing I remember was I was imprisoned, put underground, and I was supposed to suffer inside of my own consciousness because of my arrogance, yada yada yada. But next thing I know, the dig site happened. Some figures came out, attacked them, killed them. Then you guys showed up. So after I got out, I did a little wiggle, and I, was able to get up, channel the ley lines, get fabulous, and I kind of hopped around until I came here.
What are the colors that you're wearing?
Oh, I'm said I'm a part of the Obsidian. So, Obsidian, military.
Oh, gotcha.
So you're a part of the military.
Well.
Your time?
The Obsidian Brotherhood?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, you were talking about it before.
Well, I figured
I don't know much about it, but it's just something, I guess.
Well, we were the elites of the elite. I won't go too much into it, You don't need to know too much about us. Anyways, I got here and something seemed off. As you probably noticed, there's no one here, but doesn't seem run down.
I think it has something to do about why I woke up. Now, I already owe your kind a bit of a favor for digging me up. So and he kind of like grabs the bag and starts digging around, made you something.
Ooh.
So I figured each one of you are relatively unique in your own little weird ways. So I got you all gifts. And so he pulls out...
Oh yeah, we didn't actually get these, did we?
Nope, I told you about these.
Nice.
He pulls out an
I
earring.
don't think I wrote mine down.
No, I didn't. Yeah. So for you, I got you this. I call it the Earring of Whispers. And he kind of like hands it to you. Hopefully it fits.
I just just immediately stab it through my ear, trying to get it in there. Just like
if you pinch the clip of the earring just right, you'll be able to hear up to 100 feet away and understand all non-dragon related languages. This one was a gift, or this was a little trick we used back when we would recon.
But aren't you a dragon?
Yes, of course we didn't want it to fall into a peasant's hand, right?
Okay, that's fair. Good point.
You, and he pulls out...
Sorry, what'd you call it again? The ring?
Earring of Whispers.
Earring of Whispers.
He pulls out a coin. He kind of like flips it up twice. You notice that it is a printed mark that you've never recognized before. One of them seems to be kind of like a tower on one end and then like the tower rubble on the other end. And he kind of flips it up and kind of like in your direction as it's kind of... Yep, and it just perfectly lands in center. It's almost like it was like gravitating towards the center of your palm. This is the Coin of Second Chances. A very, very popular item back in the day. Once a day, if you befuddle a spell, you may flip the coin, and if you land heads, you get to try again. But only once a day. It's not that generous.
Why?
Why what?
Why give us these?
Because I like my friends.
He's just really suspicious. Don't worry about him. He doesn't mean to offend you.
I'm taking sweetheart. I love your hair, by the way. Is that pink? Or is it like rose?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I just had it done like
Where's my
2 months
gift?
ago.
Me next.
Hold on.
Yes.
What?
Earlier he had like 3 little like
Oh,
coming out of
yeah.
the front of his hat, and it was real cute.
It's like I usually put it on like this so it doesn't do that.
And then you got
otherwise
like
it'll
little
just
dingles.
Yeah, like me.
Since I'm on, I'm just dying to give this one to you. This one's so much fun. He pulls out like a little arm clasp. So it's supposed to be a wrist clasp, but since you're tiny, hold it on your arm. Once a day, you can get angry, but the side effects of being enraged and frothing at the mouth doesn't affect you. You'll have full clarity for a little while.
Oh.
So once a turn, when you enrage, any of the negative benefits for raging or any effects that will just go away.
Oh, okay.
you just get
Or like the post-rage
Yeah.
stuff? Okay.
So if you
Post-coitus.
so if I can't remember if raging had a negative effect like minus armor class.
Or it does actually. It does have -1 AC.
So you can, for that turn, you can kind of just pop it, get rid of that effect, and if there's any abilities that would give you negative effects, you can also just ignore that for the turn.
Okay. Once per day.
Once per day.
Okay.
You could just get rid of the effects for a turn. And then finally for the eager beaver still exists here, right? Little.
Yes.
I've never seen one, but I assume they still.
Okay. He pulls out a ring for you, and what's kind of cool is it looks like it was like 4 different like gold, silver, platinum, and copper like were seamlessly made into like kind of like a like quarterly form. There's no like welding seams. There's no kind of. It's like it's perfectly kind of like molded, and it's perfect to your ring finger.
How'd you know?
Magic.
Magic.
So
Magic, man.
you can spin this ring while you're working on
spinner.
magic.
Starts barking.
So essentially, what you can do with this ring is while you're crafting, the ring will you could roll a d20. If you roll 12 or higher flat, you make it a potion additional for free.
Oh shit!
What was the armband called?
It's the armband of controlled raging.
What's my ring called?
The ring of the Mixmaster.
Mixed
Max the
master.
flex.
And as he's kind of rummaging through, he pulls out a tuning fork and he goes, did you eat the other one?
Yes.
He's out there.
Oh yeah,
He's chasing.
he's on a quest, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll
So
be back. Don't worry about
He
it.
throws
It's
it
a bad
behind him,
cactus.
and you hear this tuning fork make like this beautiful, like kind of like melody, and then all of a sudden it just kind of ends. He's like, "Don't worry about that, then." All right. The reason why I'm giving you these gifts is because I think something funky is happening here in town. I think it might be tied to what woke me up. I think I may have said that already. I can't remember. My head is a buzzing. I found a key, and he kind of like pulls out of his like kind of coat pocket a key, ornate, and it looks like it goes to a lock. He's like, I found it in the community center. I've tried 2 locks, got bored, came and grabbed a drink, and I have been here for about 6 hours. So, I'll give it to Eeny, Meeny, Miny, you. You're so needy.
I like shiny.
So I'm going to look into this a bit further. I would like you to look in the mayor's office. Hopefully you can find some news, not die. Figure out what's going on here, not die. And, hey! And he takes it and he just gives it back. Have some bread. It's tasty. Made it with love.
Wicked bread.
It's good bread. And I just need you to look in the mayor's office, figure out what's going on, help anybody that you find in the eternal abyss of magical extremities, and
Wait, what? Wait, whoa. What? Magical abyss of what?
Yeah, what was that last
What
bit?
is that?
What was that?
go through the files in the office. Don't worry about any magical demons that you might find or encounter, and just right the wrongs that might be happening here.
Why? Like, why are you concerned with this?
And what about the extremities?
If I'm waking up, not a good sign. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be asleep.
We go back to sleep.
Yeah, go back to sleep.
Not like... More like imprisoned inside of our own minds to not...
You didn't drink more.
And so what?
Overthrow.
So now that you're awake, you're gonna what? Go try to go take over the world or something?
Well, I was trying to overthrow someone originally, and then I'm being punished for it, and...
That was the, what's his name? The,
If I'm
The
supposed to be locked away, and everybody else is gone, and I don't have this, like,
Tarkees.
connection with the people...
Tarkees.
Yes, you know, the big man. You know, the one at the mountain throne. Anyways, I'm not supposed to be here. And telling by the fact that you guys are free to do whatever you want, no one else is keeping you in check, and that frightens me.
What do you mean keep us in check?
It means humanoids.
You know you're supposed to be slaves, right?
So that's that so-called arrogance you was that for.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes, arrogance. It's my birthright to be so, though.
You're not looking very dragony right now. Why is that?
Intimidation. 27.
Okay.
Intimidate you.
What do I just like count it? What do I do?
Will.
Will.
Well,
Will save.
Yeah, roll and then will.
There's no way I can.
yeah. So he turns to you, and you just see his like features just start kind of like cracking away, and you just start seeing like almost like bone popping out of his face. His eyes start kind of glowing, and like acid starts like making kind of like tear marks on him, and just in a deeper, more like draconic voice, and he's just like, "You don't say."
Am I wearing my brown pants?
And then it just kind of all like pops back in place, and then like slowly kind of fades back to, and he's just like, oh, ooh, that hurts. Oh, that never used to hurt. Oh, that's bad.
Jesus, buddy.
Did the rest of us see that too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Should we all roll against that? Well, I
Oh,
guess
he's
we're
just
all-
directly
we're all
and trying
good.
to
Okay.
intimidate. Yeah. Oh, hot. Anyways, yes.
What the fuck, man?
I think you need to see a doctor.
What was that?
So then, what's your end goal? We investigate things because there are X number of dragons that you fear more,
Are you just trying to make us your slaves again?
and then we do your work for you, and then you enslave us anyway.
How are we supposed to be?
I don't like being a slave.
I
Trust me, it's no fun.
I know what you're thinking. This man is being totes not cool.
Wow, you word for word, actually.
Yeah, damn. I didn't know you were a mind reader, too.
That's not part of my clan. Anyways, so I'm just as lost as you are. All I know is you killed? Did you kill? You guys aren't giving me much info. What happened to the dragons is what I'm trying to figure out.
We don't fucking know.
I thought dragons were.
You're the first one we've ever met.
They're a myth.
Yeah.
Right.
You're the first one
So-
we've probably seen in thousands of years.
This kind of magic comes from my kind of, not clan, but from a dragon magic. This isn't like your puny, like, connecting to the earth, creating magic, or using your mind to, channel magic.
Dragon magic.
Dragon magic, yes.
What color was his scales when he was
Black.
He was black. That's okay. He was black dragon.
Yeah, he's a black.
I could do magic too. You didn't mention my magic.
Your magic is garbage.
Oh, that's a little rude.
Oh, shit.
But
I think
charming.
it's a little nicer.
But charming.
Charming garbage.
Come on, champ.
Garbage.
Sparkle like garbage.
I'm still terrified of you.
It's okay. It's okay. Just don't make me mad, and this will be fine. Have more bread. He pushes
Just
more.
like shoving.
Bread is the solution.
So, do you...
Shoving potatoes.
Are you like... You don't want to kill us?
No. Tell you what. I'll tell you what got me in trouble, and you'll understand why I'm concerned. You see, back in the day, I was part of the military.
The Obsidian
Yes.
Brotherhood. Blah, blah, blah.
I was in charge of guarding the nobility and the bloodline of Tarkees. But I didn't agree with what he was doing. No progress was being made. The dragon clans were fighting in each other to gain power underneath him. I don't know if you've dealt with nobility in any way, shape, or form, but they are nasty, nasty people. That's not how I would want the future to be run. I wanted more democracy. I wanted more structure. I wanted less bickering at each other and more progress in society.
So you're a dragon of the people.
Of the dragon people.
Of the dragon.
Of the
Right,
dragon
yeah.
people.
I find you charming. Your people have a lot going for them. The mortal
We're
race.
charming slaves.
The mortal race has things that the dragon people just don't treasure. For most, it's gold and riches and power. To me, it's the bonds that you create with each other, the lives you share. You find hope in love and happiness in dire situations.
I'm like not buying this, but I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
My people can do more working with the mortal races than enslaving them and torturing and killing them for mortal means. You should have seen what we were doing with them that set me off on this course. It was horrible, horrible stuff. I don't even want to tell you. But Tarkees is a man of just ruthless dictatorship, and I wanted it gone. So I opposed him, and I killed his son.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
That'll get you in the doghouse.
killing a chromatic is
yeah.
punishable by more than death. I was supposed to live worse pains for all eternity, but instead, I just went to sleep. And then I woke up. And you were in control.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What can I say?
But the problem is,
There's a Nerf gun.
after I came to, I felt this power of, I believe, it was either,
Love.
it wasn't, no, love would not feel this way.
Lust.
Temporal,
Hunger.
I want to say temporal anomaly.
Oh, that feeling, right.
Right, something, it
It's a
feels like
Wednesday.
something was,
What day is it?
well,
What year is it?
I don't know.
Or is it more like what millennia is it? How long
He-
have you been asleep again? Oh, shit.
We can't really
Okay.
give him a time.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways.
we don't really know.
Bad dragon magic makes town go bye-bye. Not good.
Okay.
So what do we
But
do?
like recently though.
Recently. Like,
Okay.
when I woke up, they went away.
Okay.
I would like to fix that. Because if my awakening caused this, I need to know how to fix it in case something else happens, like, say, a town lifts up into the sky and shoots into space.
Oh.
Is that a thing that's happened before? That seems like a
Space
very
Jam.
What space?
He kind of gives you a look like,
area.
like it's a funny story. Like
so it just like shoots anyway.
Shoots 3 inches over.
just all of a sudden you just see like this tiny like farmland all of a sudden just kind of into space, and everybody's like ah, and he starts like chuckling. He's like, that was, oops. Yes. Anyways, not good. I'm not trying to say like not to trust me and my people, because we're really awful people. I'm a really, really awful person.
You're a pretty bad dude.
I gave you a gift.
I'm
But
still not convinced it's
I'm
fish.
trying to help. Get you on the right track. If something is happening that I could have caused, I feel a little bad. If you guys are gone, then I fought for nothing.
Well, then what do we do? Let's.
If there's a bigger bad, then the enemy of
Coming
my enemy is
from
my
my
friend.
criminal background, I say he's cool. I'm on board. Munjo is on board with Razden.
It's not like we can do much anyway. All right, we'll investigate the town.
Yeah. I mean, we were going to do that anyway, right? So like, we might as well.
Yeah.
But we're doing it as friends!
I bring over the bottle of
let's
booze
work
that I
into
stole
the
from behind the bar, and I
friendship
was like, you know what? You got yourself a deal. And I pour him some of, what did I have? It's like, without even realizing it, I picked one of like the most expensive bottles, but I'm just like, not.
It's green.
I'm not appreciating the liquor for what it is, and I'm just like, it's okay. And like I'm like giving other people for it. I'm like rinsing my mouth out, spitting it out. Like I'm
washing the blood off your shirt.
yeah, like washing the blood off of my shirt with this super expensive liquor. I'm just like not.
Mixing
And so like yeah, I pour out.
200-year-old
Pour out.
scotch.
Yeah, I'm like pouring it some of it in his cup, and I just take another swig, and I'm like, okay, and I just throw the rest of the bottle, which is like well over half full still, and I just like toss it over my shoulder to break off in the distance.
And he's just like, he checks it, he goes, "Whew," and like little like kind of like lines of smoke kind of like curl up. He's like, yes. So I'm going to leave.
Where are you going?
I don't know. That way, or maybe that way.
Are you looking for something in particular?
Looking for my home would be a good description.
Where was your home?
It was a giant island with towers. I don't know if you've heard of it. Do kind of like
Oh yeah, it's Tower Island. Oh.
do a knowledge like geography kind
of. Geography.
21 total.
Is that like a version of lore?
I'm just gonna do a general lore check.
No, mine's bad.
You don't. That doesn't sound like
21, babe.
you guys haven't really heard of any islands with like this kind of description of like massive like towers and stuff like that. You do know of like an area of the sea with a lot of kind of like pillars that kind of like go up from the ground, but they're all kind of like sealed off, like just almost like natural like spherical tubes and like that navigate. It's kind of like
The final battle in Avatar.
yeah, kind of like I'm not stealing from there. I'm just kind of like describing it. Kind of it's like that might be a good start. You never know. We could have sunk, could have blown up, could have been sent to the moon.
Space. Why do you think it's like space with you?
Gravity is fun.
Why not?
And he just kind of leaves it at that. He's like, anyways, he stands up.
Telekinetic projectile at the bread to hit the back wall.
He's like, he does some stuff. I was like, anyways, I've got business to attend to. I trust you guys can handle it. Yes?
Sure.
Any pointers? Any leads?
Well, what
You
if
were
we-
already looking around for a little
We
bit,
have a
right?
key.
Yeah,
No, we got the
He checked
key.
2 things.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
work
the
so.
key.
He gives you some finger guns and goes, pointers! Ha
What if we find something? Should we
Hey, I like
contact
this
you?
guy.
Yeah, how do we contact you?
That's a good point.
No, I've got an eye on you, per se, but
We'll find it.
if you find something of value, just hold on to it. We'll regroup.
If I strike like a specific pose, will you know and come to our aid?
Like all of us, like one cool like team.
We all do
pose?
it.
I need you all to roll a performance.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay.
18.
6.
Yeah, 10.
So anybody 10 and over, you guys get in and you guys make like a cool like team pose, but then you kind of like stumble on your chair, you get stuck, and then you kind of just like come on in and just
So cool.
So cool.
I like to imagine we do this at the end of the table, and since we're all so short, you just kind of like see him.
Or we just like do it on top of the table.
Yeah. So yeah, I fall off the table. That was what my low roll was.
Really did you for us.
Yeah, exactly.
He just kind of like lets out a genuine chuckle, like, you really are worth fighting for, I can see. Take care, please. Stay safe. And he generally just like, the world does depend on this. Trust me.
You got it, buddy.
And then like you guys, he's like, look over there. And you all kind of like look, and then he's gone. Huh? And you see the door like closing, and him going, ah!
We still hear him running off in the distance.
It's like running in the air.
Like it's like he wanted to like be like Batman, but he didn't know what to do, so he kicked open the door and he just ran.
Easiest fucking black dragon ever.
So you guys are now just and as soon as he leaves, after a little while, the hearth goes cold, the smell of bread and everything kind of just goes away, and
What about the bread that I'm eating right now?
the bread's still there, but it's just kind of like all kind of like comfort and stuff in the room just kind of dims down a little bit more. You just kind of lose some of that. Well, it's just you.
You miss him.
Our sweet boy.
You two miss
Our
him.
sweet hot boy.
Me and Hormir are still like back down.
I'm all on board with this suave elf dragon man.
Like, look, it's not like we can do anything.
I think
He's a dragon.
He's too tall.
I've-
If he's scared of something, we should be scared of that thing.
I've looked up to and followed uglier dudes. Just saying.
That's true.
Well, while we're talking about, I'm just gonna be putting a couple bottles of some of the liquor. in
Actually,
my
yeah. What
bag.
can we swipe from this place? while we're at it?
I would say about 6 or 7 really nice bottles of ale, and all you can drink from the taps.
Each.
Just always carry
It's a small town. It's
Oh
a
wait,
small
combat.
town.
Wait a second.
I'll just take 2 like real nice bottles of liquor and I'll put them in my bag.
Go and write down bottles of liquor.
I will do the same.
We bring the party wherever we go.
Hell yeah.
The short stuff adventuring party. We bring the heat and the drink. And I think that's a good place to leave it off.
Yeah.
You guys made it to town. You've learned a little bit more about the world. You actually killed some people. It's a good day.
Self-defense.
I didn't say murder.
Yes,
Yeah.
but can we just establish that?
They're new adventurers.
Yes.
We definitely didn't attack them out of nowhere.
It's newbie crushing.
Yeah.
Murder hobos.
Yeah.
Murder.
We're hazing them.
But anyways, yeah, we're gonna wrap up. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you guys are liking the series, please let us know what you like, dislike. If you like the new format around the video, please let me know too. And we always like feedback. And you're planning something. I don't like that face. Cameron, what are you up to?
Smash that subscribe button!
You guys are the worst. Shoot them both.
Wait, what happened?
Wayne.
Rude. I didn't smash that.
Smash. You guys are the worst.
You see like a neighbor's like. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man, you guys are the worst.
I agree.
Sorry for people's eardrums.
I was not expecting anything. What's happening?